we can continue on with the natural stone wall. We lay the flat side of the stone to our formwork, and in this case I'm propping it up with a piece of timber. I add small gravel chips. We place the flat side of the stone. This is the final course on this wall. Today we're doing a bit of rock selection at our local rock supplier.
Close the door and leave the light on. The morning light should be coming soon. Kick off your shoes and leave the winter and the pain it brings to you. Lay your head upon my shoulder. Shut off your thoughts and clear your mind.
Now that we have this corner of the hollow block wall filled with concrete, we can continue on with the natural stone wall. As they join together in the corner, we build one level at a time. So every time the hollow block wall goes up a course, we incorporate another level of the natural stone wall, tied in with the rebar and the concrete behind it. We're adding a bed of our specialized concrete mortar mix to help lock the stones into the system. We're using my standard formula for this stonework, which is our standard concrete mix of Portland cement, sand and gravel, but with an addition of bondcrete and mortar to help penetrate the cracks of the stone and adhere to the stone and the previously poured concrete. I always like to start a new course with a nice large stone, as we can fit out smaller stones around it. We lay the flat side of the stone to our formwork, and in this case I'm propping it up with a piece of timber. With the stone secure in its right place and hard up against our formwork, we backfill it with our concrete and then add scrap bits of concrete to help stiffen the mix so the stone is supported and secure on the formwork. This was the concrete that we excavated from the old pathway when we started this project. I always save the concrete because there's many places to reuse it in projects like this. After adding the chunks of concrete, we push them in securely with our trowel, then add more concrete mix and work it in to get a really good bond. We just keep repeating the process of adding more scrap concrete with wet concrete mix to build up a flat wall behind our stone, so then we can add more stones on top that'll stay flat to the formwork. I add small gravel chips in the gap between the stone and the formwork. This is to stop the concrete from oozing out in between the stone courses. We're now ready to lay an appropriate stone next to the large one we laid earlier. We place the flat side of the stone hard up against the formwork and then fit it in tightly to position. We often need to pack a piece of scrap concrete behind it to hold it hard up against the formwork. With the new stone sitting flat against the form and in the right position, we add more wet concrete and scrap concrete to lock it in. I continue to backfill concrete and scrap concrete behind this new stone to stabilize it in preparation for the next stone we're going to add next to it. This next gap we're trying to fill in the wall is quite specific, so sometimes I have to try a couple of different stones to find the one that's going to fit the gap properly. With this stone securely in place, I backfill it as I did with the previous ones. With our concrete backfilled and flattened out with a nice stable flat platform, we're ready to put the next course on top, and we always start with a cornerstone. After securing our cornerstone in the normal way, backfilling it with concrete and recycled concrete chips, we need to do a little more work on this course to prepare it for the next large stones we're going to lay down. We do this by adding some small stones to completely flatten out this area. With the smaller stones filling these gaps between the larger stones, we're ready to put the next large stone on this course. This is the final course on this wall, so we have to make the top of it look good as well as the front. So after securing this large stone in place, we work our way back into the corner with smaller stones to give it good stone coverage for the top of this wall. We're only finishing the top course in this small corner section today, as we've run out of stones. We need to go back to our stone supply to get more supplies. So we're driving out to the stone supply today to get some more pink granite for our natural stone wall. Of course, part of living in the countryside is it's a beautiful drive wherever you go, from one place to the next. So I just enjoy taking a break, taking a rest from doing the hard concrete and block laying. We're going to hand pick some nice gravel blocks because we've got our wall kind of 2/3 finished. I always find driving through the countryside is always a good opportunity to kind of work on your mindfulness. Look at the trees as I'm driving by, look at the blue sky. Throughout my workday, I always like to try and spend a bit of time on mindfulness practice. I find you make better and clearer decisions. I'm just going to enjoy this country drive, go get some nice stone. Maybe this afternoon it'll be dry enough to put them on the wall.
Nobody knows how to stem the river's flow. Are you strong enough to break these chains? Are you strong enough to break these chains?
Yeah, today we're doing a bit of rock selection at our local rock supplier. There's plenty of good rocks right here for the type of wall we're building. So let's get to it and select a few.
Nobody knows how to stem the river's flow. Nobody feels the pain.
We're looking for stones that are going to fit into the wall easily. So they have to have a flat side that goes up against our formwork. We're also looking for some cube-shaped ones for our cornerstones. On top of that, we want mixed sizes and any other stones that catch our eye with some sort of attractive feature in them.
Close the door and leave the light on. The morning light should be coming soon.
That concludes our rock selection. We don't want to overload our trailer. We can always come back for more another day. This selection of stones should work well on what's left of our wall to build. And whilst we're here getting stone, we can get some more treated timber to finish off the corner of our wall. In a previous episode, we built the first half of this treated timber retaining wall. Today we're going to finish the top section and this corner where we're adding a seat. We've been building this wall in sections for a couple of logistical reasons. One of them being the amount of timber that I'd have to transport here to build this entire retaining wall. Previously we completed the section that runs along the fence, and today we're going to complete the section that runs down in front of the shed. The treated timber retaining wall steps down with our ramp slope, so we decided to put an angle cut on these timbers that matches the ramp angle. We're just fixing these timbers down with heavy external screws. The owner of the property decided that she wanted to be able to sit in this corner, so we're going to be adding a 75mm thick piece of treated timber as a sitting bench once we install this last panel. I just measure and cut a couple of pieces to fit this corner. We want to put a bevel on them with our plane, and then we install them with our normal exterior fixing screws.
And the pain it brings to you. Lay your head upon my shoulder. Shut off your thoughts and clear your mind. I offer peace and understanding for the things that you seek to find. Nobody knows how to stem the river's flow. Nobody feels the pain.
Just going to lay down the next course of block wall. I just lay the blocks out in what I call a dry set. I don't want to get any cement or adhesive involved at this point because I want to double check that everything's going to line up. And sometimes we might need to make an adjustment with one of the blocks. We might have to grind off a couple of mil to make them all fit in the course. It's also a good last opportunity to check for any defects in our blocks. So if we come across any with blemishes or chips on them, we can swap them out for another one. The corner block fitting perfectly into place is our indicator that everything's lined up properly, and we continue to lay our block around this corner until it runs into the natural stone wall. So we've just laid out the fourth course of our block wall, just a dry set, so we can run our eye along it, take a look. There's a few bumps and dips. We'll use our packers to pack them up. When we're satisfied with it's all straight and level, then we'll use construction adhesive to glue it down, and then we'll fill it with concrete. And here come the chickens. The chickens always want to come and check out the wall whenever it's gone up another level.
She'll be coming soon. Kick off your shoes and leave the winter and the pain it brings to you.
Our corner blocks in this wall are different from the other blocks. They're not hollow, they're solid. And that's part of their design because they have a split face that turns around 90 degrees around the face of the block. So I score the back of these blocks to help the concrete adhere to them when we do our backfilling. After gluing all these blocks down, which I covered in the last episode, the next thing to do is put steel in this channel. Every course of this hollow block wall gets steel laid horizontally inside its channels. When the steel rebar is not long enough to cover the entire length of the wall, we do an overlap of a couple of 100 mil for strength. The reinforcement bar in this project is a key part of the engineering strength of what holds this wall together. It's a combination of the concrete block, the concrete that we fill the hollow block with, and having enough steel inside to hold it together. In the next episode, we excavate a new foundation and prepare it to be concreted with the backfill of our wall. So yesterday we framed out foundation for this design change, where the wall's going to wrap back into this little courtyard. Then prepare all our rebar for the back pour of this main wall.
Are you strong enough to break these chains? Are you strong enough to break these chains? Close the door and leave the light off. The morning light should be coming soon.
Thanks for joining me this week in my YouTube channel. Check the link below, and while you're at it, hit the subscribe button or make a comment so I can help you with your future construction solutions. And don't forget to follow our channel for more ideas and how-to tips for home and garden projects.